Hello everyone, welcome. Something I always ask my Risa Does Makeup viewers is what types of videos would you like to see more of? And over again, people have mentioned shop my stash videos, which I can totally understand. You are bombarded with newness every single week on social media. And although a large portion of my audience does enjoy seeing those hot new makeup videos or reviews of the latest foundation or concealer release, there's also a large segment of you who enjoy watching beauty content creators use what they already have, what you might also already have in your makeup collection. So today I'm going to show you how I went from this to this, using many products that I have not used in quite a while. There are a few products sprinkled in that are newer, but nothing that's like a brand new release. And I have to say, I am crazy about this makeup look, and I will most definitely be recreating it for my next night out or event. My lips were feeling really dry, so I started off by applying the Tatcha lip mask to my lips. And then I primed my lids with one of the Makeup by Mario Master Matte Cream eyeshadows. These launched back in June, and it took me a few months to purchase them because with my oily lids, I've just never had great luck with cream shadows. But these are amazing. They're so easy to use. They last all day long. You can wear them alone, or they serve as a great base for your powder eyeshadows. Today I'm using the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and this is going to be actually a very easy eyeshadow look. I'm just taking a shimmer shade and packing that all over my lid. And then I'm taking a sort of mid-tone taupey brown shade and applying that to the outer corners of my eyes. And yes, because my eyes are hooded and downturned, I do very gently pull my eye slightly toward my temple so that I can really get in there underneath the hood and cover those outer corners with shadow. Then I go back with the first brush I used to blend out the Makeup by Mario and soften any edges. Now I'm taking a very dark brown from the palette and a BK Beauty 208 angled eyeliner brush, and I'm applying that right at the base of my lashes. And when I do this, I'm being very messy, bringing the eyeliner down past my lower lash line, but it doesn't matter because now I'm going to clean it up with a pointed Q-tip and some eye makeup remover. Then it's time to curl my lashes. I do some tight lining. This is the Rare Beauty Gel Eyeliner Pencil. And then I apply my mascara. I purchased this MAC Stack Elevated Mascara about 3 or 4 months ago, and I have been loving it. It takes a lot for a mascara to impress me, but this one gives me length, it gives me volume. It also gives me that sort of wispy look that I love. Now I'm rehydrating my skin with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I hadn't used this in so long, I completely forgot how good it felt and smells. After that's dried a bit, I go in with my Bioma Milky Toner. This stuff is so good. I discovered it about a year ago, and I would use it off and on, but lately I've been using it more and more because I've noticed that it just makes my foundation go on so much smoother. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. Every time I stop using this for a while and then go back to it, I'm reminded of just how good it really is, especially for drugstore. It offers medium buildable to full coverage that still looks really natural and lasts all day long. It comes in a wonderful variety of shades, And as you can see here, I'm applying it with my fingers. I was inspired to do this by a video NARS Cosmetics posted on Instagram. They were showing the application of their new matte foundation, and it was being applied to the model's face with the makeup artist's fingers. And a lot of people in the comments seemed to be confused as to why they were doing that. And it was at that time I recalled that when I used to freelance for NARS Cosmetics, we were told that Francois NARS himself always said that the best method for makeup application was your fingers, or the best tools for makeup application were your fingers. And in fact, when I looked at the comments later, the NARS account responded to people and said that exact thing, that their recommended method of application was to use your fingers. And then, as always, I take a sponge and pick up any excess product. Speaking of NARS, for concealer, I decided to use an oldie but a goodie, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This will always be a favorite of mine. Anytime I've done a best concealer video for mature skin, this has always been included. It is a staple in a lot of makeup artist kits because it gives incredible coverage. It's very long wearing. I wouldn't say it's the most hydrating concealer out there now, but if your under eyes aren't super dry, it is a good choice. For contour, I'm using this Makeup by Mario sculpting stick. I honestly don't think this is anything special, but I do really like the shade and the blendability. I'm using the shade Light Medium. To set my face, I'm using another classic. This is the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder. This is the Ultra Blur formula. And I know some of you are looking at this and thinking, oh my gosh, how or why is she using so much powder? Well, if you're new to my channel, you should know that I have very, very oily skin, even at age 52. So even with this much powder on, I will still get shiny within a couple of hours. And I really just like the way packing on the powder refines the look of my pores and smooths texture. After I dusted off the excess powder, it was time for bronzer. This is the NARS Laguna bronzer, a staple in my makeup kit when I was freelancing, and I still think it's excellent. And then to really blend all those powders into my skin and make my complexion look more natural, I'm using the One Size Powder Melt Setting Spray. For blush, I'm using another product that was a staple in my professional freelance makeup kit, which is the NARS Powder Blush. Since I stopped working as a freelance makeup artist, NARS has reformulated and also changed the packaging, but I'm still a huge fan. They have some of the most beautiful shades. For my highlight, I'm using the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. This is the shade Sunstone. And now I'm just picking up a little soft brown shadow from the Natasha Denona Glam palette and running that along my lower lash lines for some soft definition. Now I'm going back in with another shimmer and applying that into my tear ducts. Now it's time for brows. I always brush them up first, and I'm penciling them in with a Rare Beauty brow pencil. This is the blonde shade, and it is a perfect match to my natural brow hair and my current hair color. It's kind of a toss-up between this one and the Patrick Ta as far as what I feel is one of the best brow products you can buy. I've actually repurchased both the Rare Beauty and the Patrick Ta. And to set my brows, I'm just using the original Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. Truthfully, I think that this original brow gel is better than her Brow Freeze product. Then I'm taking the NARS Pot Concealer to carve out under my brows. And then I'm picking up the lightest shade from the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette on a flat brush, and I'm placing that right underneath the arch of my brow. Moving on to lips. This is a combo that I have been wearing off and on for many years. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Cheat. I have gone through so many of these pencils over the years. And for lipstick, I'm using Nude Kate, also from Charlotte Tilbury. And then I'm using that NARS Pot Concealer once again to clean up the edges of my lips. And we're done. So this is the finished look. As I said during the intro, I love it. I love the way it turned out. I did say during the intro that I wasn't going to use any brand new products. However, at the last second, I decided to add a little bit of gloss to my lips. So I used this Morphe Drip Glass, which is not a new product, but this particular shade is new, and it is called Champagne Pearl. I just put it right in the center of my top and bottom lip. And then I also added some of the most natural looking half lashes you can find. They are very inexpensive. They're from Amazon. I will have them linked in the description box along with every other product and shade name that I used to achieve this look. I will also have the products tagged through YouTube Shopping if they are available. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this type of content, these Shop My Stash videos, let me know in the comments how often you would like to see these. Maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months. I would love to hear your feedback. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. I am so close to hitting, well, 25,000 away isn't so close, but I'm hoping to achieve 500,000 subscribers in 2026, and I can only get there with your help by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing this video with people or Facebook groups, anyone you think might find it interesting or helpful. Okay, that concludes this Shopping My Stash makeup tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.